Devar, how are you doing, you sexy man-beast?
I was not expecting you to say that, but I've been well to some degree. How about you?
Do you want to do a do-over?
There's no do-overs in life.
Okay, do-over it is. Devar, you scrumptious mancake. Is it better?
That's my thing.
You beef jerky without the jerk. You lovable rapscallion without the scallion.
I'm just a pile of bones in flesh.
You devourable bony man.
So when
you beautiful man, how are you?
Like I said, I'm fine.
Yes, I'm fine too. Now that I finally can hear your beautiful voice again, I've missed you.
No.
It's been 10,000 years since the last time we recorded a podcast together.
1,000 years has passed.
And now I cannot do the voice.
No, I can't do the voice either, so... And
yes.
Anyway, so we are
I can try to imitate Icipal doing the voice, if you want.
I mean, Icipal doing the voice is just as bad, but okay.
But it was very funny.
It was,
yes. Very funny indeed.
It was very funny, honestly, yes.
Long ago, in a land far, far away, or something along those lines, I, Ixis Nogus, Master of Chaos, hatched a plan to do something or the other. I forgot the context already.
Yeah, I forget the context as well. But...
Should we begin this podcast anytime soon?
Yes, we should be. So I'm just going to go out this door. Oh dear God, no! You know what? Maybe we should stay here. Maybe everyone wants a relaxing episode.
Devar, I have a bad feeling about this. What chapter is this?
Let me look to see. Netriska. Level Thebes Luxor, it says here.
Okay, it's not yet the Great Pyramid. Remember to remind you that the Great Pyramid is coming.
Oh my God, I just looked at the kills and there's 349 enemies in this level.
That's it?
Oh goody, this is gonna be good. So, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to face the music.
Devar, would you like to share with the class what happened to the last episode of this podcast that we recorded? Because it wouldn't be a serious podcast, it wouldn't be the Mad Play experience without us telling you all about all the issues we faced in the simple act of sharing videos with one another.
Yeah.
At this point, it is tradition to talk about technical issues with this brand.
It is. So, right. So the thing is, right?
Yes.
Everything, sorting out the video was fine. I was able to convert the file to be a good size and good quality. Well, keeping the good quality that we are trying to uphold the standards of.
Cough.
Yes, and then comes the usual of trying to send the file over to Madhog by our only means of transfer by a file transfer site.
Pretty much.
And
I seem to understand that your internet could use a bit of a leg up, so to speak.
I have no idea what happened to the internet over the years, because it used to be fine. Oh, damn it. It used to be fine with, maybe I should go with the big gun.
Downloading, uploading process?
With the downloading, uploading process, because these days, for some reason, uploading a file, for some reason, slows down the internet, even though back in the past, it would be fine and dandy, nothing would go wrong with it.
Oh, it's most likely the phone companies screwing with you. They do that with everyone. They certainly did that with us.
Yeah. I mean, Dad wasn't very happy about that. But anyway, that's another kettle of fish that's not important right now. So,
what's important is what happens next?
Yes, what happens next. So basically, I tried to send the file, only to be met with a very peculiar scenario that I never thought I would see. I looked to see how it would be progressing, and I would see that there is no number at all. Nothing appears as I would try and transfer the file. So I thought to myself, maybe the servers are not good on the site, so I thought, give it a day or two. I try again the day afterwards.
2 weeks later.
Yeah, because I've been trying to figure out, essentially, why the frick was suddenly this website that has been sending videos fine and dandy with no trouble whatsoever was finally saying to me, "Oh, sorry, no, we can't send anything now. We suck."
A file? I know nothing about this file. I know nothing.
God dang it, what weapon do I need to... Okay, so for many days afterwards, I was trying to figure out why...
Tell me why ain't nothing but a better take. Yes.
So, yeah, I was kind of not in a very good mood about that. Hence why, Madhog was probably not in a good mood either, because he's had to wait for me with this file.
It's not as bad as that one time in which I had to wait for an entire month, if not even more.
I decided to kill myself out of frustration.
This is a recurring circus, really, with us.
Yes, it is, especially with me playing serious.
We're only missing the clown horns.
After a long while, I was so frustrated, I was talking with one of my friends online about this, about what I was going through, and he basically then asked me, have I tried a different web browser other than Chrome? And I basically went, what would that change? I don't know, just telling you something that you could try out and make sure it's not the fault of the browser. So I decided to humor him. And lo and behold, I've basically opened up Microsoft Edge for testing purposes.
You know, Microsoft has been very sneaky and consistent in its attempt to have Microsoft Edge installed in my PC. I've been fighting them on this. I don't want your garbage new browser. I don't care about the old garbage browser. I don't even care about the cute Merryweather comic about Internet Explorer Chan. It's not a good comic. It's a guilty pleasure, though. One day, I shall dissect the comic history and production of Merryweather, because that's an interesting topic of discussion in its own right. But please, do go on.
I basically went on Microsoft Edge just to humor my friend, and I went to the usual site we go to do our usual thing of file sharing, and it worked. I have no idea how or why. I don't know what's going on with the world.
I am not an expert in browsers, but the way a browser works usually depends on how the company runs it. Google has been a consistent dumpster fire when it comes to trying to make things work in general. I mean, look at the Stadia. Look at the state of the Stadia. Look at the Stadia.
I saw the Stadia of it.
The state of the Stadia. Oh, God.
But
it's pretty embarrassing.
Well, yeah, because it's like they didn't really care all that much about it.
Worse yet, they were arrogant about it. Oh, surely all these other companies and internet providers will be all so happy to bend over backwards to make our console successful with its very stupid modus operandi.
Yeah. Oh, damn, I can't get up there.
But anyway, in the end, we finally managed to get this file across, and I could make the bloody episode and edit it and post it and all that. But the story is not over yet, because I have my own fair share of issues to uncover,
no.
because it wouldn't be us without this twist. The same twist you hear every episode by now.
What's the twist this time?
I am the M. Night Shyamalan of technical issues, buddy.
Okay.
Oh, pal.
Okay. So what happened with you then?
Okay, I was not happy with the illumination of the video and how it came out in my editor. I've complained. I brought this up last time we talked.
Yes, and I did raise the saturation.
Yes. Well, I still was not a happy camper about it. I could have let it go because we don't exactly have access to the production quality of the angry video game nerd.
Yeah.
So I could have let that go because ultimately it doesn't really matter all that much. But, you know me, I didn't. So I decided to manually raise the gamma on the video on my editor. And then render it all. There is one problem though.
What?
For some inexplicable, inexorable, and dare I say, diabolical reason, my editor really hates it when I tamper with the video's illumination, because the rendering process gets slowed down 100 times.
Oh no, I can't go back. And there was 100 health back there too. Unless I can.
So, rendering 1 minute of video would take an average of 3 hours.
That sounds absolutely lovely, might have had.
Okay, but I decided to be stubborn about it. I could have just not do it and let bygones be bygones.
But this is you we're talking about.
Just let it, yeah, this is me that we are talking about. So, of course, I decided to be a bit of a stubborn Stanley, I guess.
That's one way of putting it.
As a stubborn Stanley, I left the computer open to render the video.
Yeah.
It stayed open all night, rendering.
Yeah.
Then the next day, when I wake up,
Oh no.
I find out
Oh gosh.
that there has been
An
suspense
update.
building. No, a critical error, and the file stopped its rendering midway through it.
Ah.
So I decided to not bother with that. Oh, but it's not that easy, because you see, I changed the video's illumination before I started editing the video, which means that now there are several tens or hundreds small cuts and small parts of the same video that I have to manually de-illuminate.
Oh no.
I have to manually go into each and every one of these individual cut parts of the video and delete the illumination edit. And before you say anything, no, there isn't a convenient option by which I can just undo the entire process in one simple click of a button. There isn't such convenience, so that took 10 minutes approximately, which in the grand scheme of things is not that bad. So I ended up having the video just rendered with the normal level of gamma. And that was the end of it.
Okay.
So in between the 2 weeks and this, oh boy, I was a bit spent. I cannot wait to see what will inevitably go wrong with this newer episode that we are recording right now.
Maybe it's a plot twist. Maybe we'll have nothing go wrong.
And now that you said it, you're jinxing us. Listen, technology is like sorcery and witchcraft. Technology is akin to wild magic. Don't mess with it. You have to be calm, be tactical about it. Don't roll the dice all willy-nilly.
I mean, it could
just be nice to it. Do the usual blood sacrifice once a week. Remember to trace the pentagon on the floor. And the candles, they must be scented. They must be mint scented. It's very important. The candles have to be mint scented. And if you're lucky enough, you will not accidentally summon Beelzebub.
So anyway, other than technical snafus...
Yes, well, there are quite a few topics we could touch upon this week, because there is a lot going on in the world. Let's see. The state of Arkansas in the United States has approved a openly anti-trans law that denies healthcare to trans people, which will lead to people dying.
Yes, which is dumb.
It's not dumb, it's malefic. It's downright evil and malefic. It's a calculated attempt at a genocide.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the only jolly old thing happening in that godforsaken country right now. No. You see, the state of Georgia looked at Arkansas and said, hold my beer, and decided to go along with what I can only describe as Jim Crow Part 2. So they approved a new set of voter suppressions laws that, much like the original Jim Crow laws, are specifically designed to target unprivileged, specifically black individuals living in Georgia.
Mm-hmm. So
that's also happening. And I'll be honest with you, there is a lot I could say about that. And there is a lot both you and I, have said about this whole situation in the past. But I feel that we are not exactly experts in the subject. We are not qualified to be angry on behalf of other people. But, saying something, in spite of that, saying something is better than not to say anything. I want whomever is listening to this to understand, without any controversy, without any possible doubt, where we stand in this situation, socially, politically, etc., etc. These people, these white, old, rich, wealthy politicians deciding who gets to live and die in a country that they don't actually represent. They have never have. These people are the scum of the earth. But that doesn't even begin to describe how I feel about them and about this whole situation. We are still in the stage in which trans people, or people of color, all the statistical minorities everywhere in the world have to fight for the right to exist. We are still in this stage. Don't buy that neoliberal bullpucky about how far we've come as a society. No. Any significant progress that this society has made over the past 50 years has been made because of people fighting for the right to exist, not because of some liberal douchebag saying, hey, look, we defeated racism. Hey, look, we decided that the trans rights are human rights. They have done absolutely nothing. In fact, they are continuing to do nothing because all the Republican legislators are up in arms doing whatever the hell they want without real opposition from the majority party right now. And if people were not fighting, actively fighting this, as they always have been, fighting that is, if people were not up in arms to oppose this, they would have gotten away with so much worse in the past 4 years, in the past 10 years, in the past 50 years. Make no mistake, capitalism in general has given us very little. The only reason why we have such concepts as weekends and 8 hours labor shifts is because unions and workers fought for it. The only reason why people of color everywhere, specifically let's talk about America, there is a reason why people of color, black people, Latino, Asian, have earned the right to vote and to be treated as citizens. Clearly it's not enough. It's because there was a fight about it. It's because there were protests. It's because there were riots. And again, don't listen to me telling you this. Go listen to their voices.
I know it's frustrating because, essentially, the majority of the human race who are weak and powerless cannot do anything against the 1%, the elite who are basically convincing.
Climate change is happening because it's not because literally everyone has a car and it's polluting. It's because the 100 goddamn companies who run this planet are the ones who polluted everything and ruined the world. It's 100% their fault. Oh, but humanity is the real virus, apparently. Alan Moore! Even Alan Moore said that. My gosh, way to make me lose respect over a beloved author.
How do I get out of here? Okay, dummies. I'm gonna regret saving this, but let's see if I can survive on 24 health.
On a lighter note,
yeah,
there were protests about climate change recently, and both Jane Fonda and Ted Danson were arrested multiple times, and they made an absolute mockery of the whole process. White people, especially wealthy white people, have an innate privilege. And some of these white people have realized that and managed to use it against the establishment, or rather, they managed to use it in a way that's productive, that exposes how hypocritical and racially biased the establishment is. And I, for one, want to applaud them for being there and choosing to use said privilege for the good of all.
Yes.
If more rich people were like them, we wouldn't be in the situation we are now.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to be a bit more careful in that room. So, I'm just only gonna say this one thing. Just don't listen to the politicians or to the people in power, because they're just there to lie to your face anyway and pretend that, it's not us who are the enemy, it is the people next door, the people in your community who are the enemy, sort of thing.
And all the dog whistling and metaphors that allude to very specific kinds of people, we've heard them all.
Yeah.
I heard how your people are treating the newlywed princess.
Yes, I've heard about that as well. It's
very blatant.
It is very.
I just he did a somersault.
Yep, he did a somersault for the good of all mankind.
Okay.
So yeah, I've not kept up with the royals because unlike most British people who probably are keeping up with the royals, I don't care about them.
They really need to get a life. I agree with you. Royalty is a waste of money. It's a relic of a bygone era that keeps on creeping up in modern times, and it keeps on projecting this idea that the social elite must be protected, it's in fact literally just ornaments. They are figuratively ornaments, expensive ornaments. That said,
yes.
That said, we should call out racism when we see it, and the way they are treating the newlywed princess, the one who married Prince William. Actually, I don't even know if she's newlywed, but she is married to Prince William, I believe.
She has been married, yes, for a few years now.
So it's not really newlywed.
Even had a baby. Reporters basically were hounding them for photos when they specifically asked to not be, hounded. And essentially, then they decided to leave the royal family because of that reason. And then suddenly journalists turned around going like, why are you leaving? Sort of thing. And then claimed that they were like, it was their fault and such, even though it was the journalists at fault. Because, they wouldn't listen to their request. You
should find out the very specific words that they choose to describe the princess. By the way, I've been calling her the princess up until now, but do you know what her name is? Because this is a bit embarrassing, I realized.
I'm trying to remember her name. I think it might be... Is it Kate or something like that? Look.
Oh gosh, no.
Thank goodness I saw that.
Okay, so if we are going to talk about this princess, I think it's imperative that we learn about her name. In fact, give me a second, I'm going to look it up right now.
So yeah, I'm going to say something very specific about the royal family, that I just don't care about them for a very simple reason. They don't care about us, the social climate, anything. The only thing the royal family care about is living comfortably, not having to worry about anything that's going on outside of their walls. They just want to stay blind and deaf to what's going on because they are used to that sort of comfort.
Okay, I agree. Like I said, I 110% agree with that. That's my sentiment. Down with the royalty. However, The journalists have been racist towards Princess Kate.
Oh yes,
Have you noticed that Princess Kate is not white, apparently?
No,
The journalists seem to have noticed, and hence all the very specific dog whistling that they used to describe this princess in their national news outlets.
Yeah. Another thing they decided to do, so I think, was basically bring up her past with her family, saying that she's not on good terms with her family either.
As if to confirm the disgusting worldviews that the readers share with them.
Yes, to basically, as if like to say, oh, look how troubled this woman is, sort of thing. You know, yeah, I just don't agree with that, because it's like they're trying to paint the picture, you know, like they're trying to cover up the truth, essentially, with half-truths, essentially. We don't know the context of why she has a
Even if it were to be
God.
true, it's her business.
Yes, and it's not...
Having a difficult family situation does not make you automatically a terrible person.
Yes. And hence why I basically would like to say that basically, obviously the situation in Britain is that the truth is not with the journalists, totally. But they're trying to basically
considering their years-long campaign against trans rights, it doesn't surprise me.
Yes. So essentially, they're just trying to make themselves look like they're being honest and better than the person they're covering. So, yeah, I don't trust the journalists fully. So, don't mind me if I just kind of say that.
Yes.
The truth is basically halfway, so to speak.
Right. With all of that said, still, down with the royals.
Yes, they don't care about us. They don't care about the normal, everyday person.
Generally speaking, they are the perfect representation of the social elite. They are wealthy without having earned it. And they are famous and rich simply because they exist.
Yes.
They are still people, but they should not be in that position. Nobody should have that position, that much wealth. Nobody. Nobody should have that position. Nobody should be that. With all of that said, don't be racist. That would be nice.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
I mean, life's too short to be stupidly hating other people for no reason.
But what if hate is my kink?
Don't kink shame me. So I'm just thinking of that ProZD joke when he's dressed as Yugi saying that.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
right.
So on to more...
Yes, let's talk about something hilarious. Hey, that Suez Canal fiasco sure is a laugh riot, isn't it?
Oh gosh. I've seen multiple jokes and memes about that now.
Talk about constipation. It's as if North America went to the bathroom, but unfortunately nothing could come out, so it needed a laxative. That dang chicken nugget! Oh, it did this to me! It can't come out now!
Oh gosh, I'm just remembering the perverted memes as well on top of that. Like, that people were showing me as well. Like,
the Ever Given is the Ever Given, or was it the Evergreen? I don't know anymore.
I have no
that
idea.
Ship, that ship had better be added to Azur Lane. wish the sentence.
I do not want to imagine Azur Lane having a
new character in Azur Lane. It's going to be the evergreen shit. It's going to come. Her design is going to include the two sides. Her design is going to include a very, very large flank that gets stuck in between two pieces of lens.
Yeah, like
she's going to be dummy feet.
Get stuck in the door. Oh,
hey,
no.
Speaking of Azur Lane.
Oh no, what happened with you now?
Oh, it's something much shorter. Don't worry about that. Did you know that Azur Lane had an anime? Because of course it did. Multiple ones, in fact. But anyway, out of morbid curiosity, which is a great motivator as it turns out, I decided to check out the Azur Lane anime.
And how did that go for you?
0.5 seconds into the first episode, war. War never changes.
Oh gosh.
I swear to you, the very first line in this show is war never changes. I had to pause the episode. I had to get up,
really think
get
about
off my
said.
chair, and I started laughing like a man possessed for a solid minute. It was so stupid. First second of the show, war never changes.
War.
I'm speechless. I am absolutely speechless. They did this. This stupid fan service anime did this. Oh, I didn't watch the rest of the episode. I was done. Instantly done. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Well, glad to know that.
So, doesn't your life feel more enriched after having learned that?
Is it enriched? I mean...
Now you cannot unthink of a Fallout and Azur Lane crossover.
Goodness gracious.
Actually,
What?
believe it or not, I have yet another mobile game to discuss with you.
And what would that be today?
It's the main reason why I wanted to record this podcast, actually. Do you think I enjoy talking about American politics, racism, capitalism?
Not really, no.
Not really. I will talk as much as it needs to be talked about, but that's not what I like to chat with my friends. No, as it turns out, what I really want to share and chat, what I really want to talk about with my friends is Kookie Run! OvenBreak! Do you know about that?
No, not really, no.
It's a tremendous game. It's really good. Forgive my surprised tone, but I still cannot believe how good this game is.
That's good. That's good to know then. It's good.
Okay, so there are the usual expected practices of mobile games. Gacha, ads play every so often, predatory means, you know, the usual. But looking past all of that, and yes, this is the one time in which it is worth it to look past all that, there is a core gameplay aspect that's just so enjoyable. Kookie Run is an endless runner game, perhaps the premier endless runner game. This is technically a sequel There was a Kookie run back in 2014. This is the new iteration from 2016. And it is such an absolute delight. It's about a series of gingerbread men escaping a witch's oven, which makes me think of Hansel and Gretel. And basically, that's the incipit. That's the premise. You have these cookies, and they run in very colorful and well-designed levels with really bopping music, and try not to die for as long as you possibly can and gain points and a score as a result. It's very simple in concept, but it has an unexpected level of depth. Because you can jump, you can slide, there are obstacles. Do you know how an endless runner works?
Yeah, I know how an endless runner works. I've actually...
So the screen is always moving, and you have to avoid obstacles either by jumping or sliding under them. This is not a 3D. This is a side-scroller.
Ah, right. So it's a side-scroller one.
So it's much better because of that. The screen would constantly move, and you have no choice but to run and jump and slide.
Yeah.
And you have to time it correctly, otherwise you get hit by a block or fall into a precipice, and it gets challenging. The team responsible for Kookie Run OvenBreak is called Dev Sisters. And you can tell that this game is oozing with passion and creativity, not just in the way it is designed, but also in the way the characters are designed. And let me tell you, the characters in Kookie Run are some of the most creative, imaginative, fun-looking, adorable designs I've ever seen. They are so good. And they're all gingerbread men. You wouldn't believe how imaginative and visionary the designs get. There is a surfer cookie.
A surfer cookie?
His surfboard is a gelato stick. That's adorable. He has a special move. He summons a tidal wave that he surfs on, of course, and destroys all obstacles for a limited period of time. There is a wild girl that grew up in the jungle, and her sidekick is a tiger made of butter.
Wow.
She rides said tiger on the levels. There is a rockstar Kookie. He plays his own soundtrack with the guitar when you play with him. He does a power slide when he slides. It's adorable! These characters aren't just well designed, they are also superbly animated. They are oozing with personality. Each and every one of them has their own unique moveset and powers.
Yeah.
Each Kookie feels different to play, even if it's just a difference in terms of flavor. They all have their unique poses and animations. When they run, when they jump, when they slide. There is such a fundamental attention to details that makes the experience so much more enjoyable than it already was. It's brilliant in its simplicity. It is also deceptively simple. It is definitely addicting, but unlike all the other mobile games I tried, it isn't just addicting, it is legitimately fun to play. The characters run on their own. You control whether they jump or slide. But with only those two control options, there are a lot of more varied options that open up depending on which character you are using at that moment. For example, the most OP character in my roster at the moment is the orange Kookie.
Right.
She is a tennis player. She runs around in the stage.
Yeah.
She collects tennis balls. If you use the slide button after a double jump, she launches a devastating tennis ball that destroys everything in her path and causes her to speed up for a brief moment, which also allows her to destroy things in her path. It's insane and I love it.
It sounds absolutely silly.
It's
fun.
silly, but it is so much fun. I must have collected 100 million points with this character alone. There are so many good examples of quality character design in this. It's inspiring, frankly. For example, there is this cute bunny Kookie, which is inspired from the bunnies from either the Chinese legends or the Japanese folklore.
Yeah.
It comes from the moon. It's this very cute, chubby child that's constantly eating while he runs.
Oh.
And then he transforms into a fluffy rabbit. And that's his special move. There's a mild-mannered, bespectacled Kookie
Yeah.
who's secretly a superhero.
Of course.
It's so good. There is a wizard Kookie who seems to have a white beard, but when you look closer, you notice that it's not a beard, it's a white scarf covering his face.
No.
It's super cute! There is a character that I am convinced is an Undertale reference.
Yeah.
The Truffle Kookie. Spider lady with a spider motif. Her special move, she calls upon a couple of spiders to devour musical notes. That's why this seems like an Undertale reference to me.
Right.
I already mentioned the Rockstar Kookie, right?
Yes, you did.
There is a K-pop Kookie.
A K-pop.
Oh, yes! His special move. He gets on a stage, he summons the rest of his boy band, and they sing. Everything about Kookie Run, OvenBreak, starting from the name, drips with quality, with good ideas and good execution.
And personality.
And personality, I said that already. Charisma.
Alright.
This is a game that you can tell was made with love. In spite of its nature as a mobile game, it is a game that I would feel I can recommend to everyone. The problem that I have with most mobile games, aside from the aforementioned predatory practices, is that they aren't really fun to play. In fact, at some point, you find yourself dreading having to engage with the gameplay. Hence, why many of these games have an autoplay mode in which they play themselves. That defeats the purpose, doesn't it?
It does to me as well, honestly.
In Kookie Run, we have fun designed characters inhabiting a fun designed game. And that is all I could possibly ask of this. There are so many lovable, instantly likable characters based on design alone. I cannot wait to unlock more, honestly, as I keep and continue playing this. Of course, there is always the caveat of it being a mobile game, so be wary of the game asking you to spend money on it. And all that. Otherwise, enjoy.
Okay.
It gets my recommendation. This is the first time in which I can fully recommend a mobile game without holding back. Without too many caveats and asterisks.
Right.
And that's what I wanted to share with the class.
Well, it sounds like a nice thing for once.
For once, yes.
This is why we have nice things.
I thought sometimes we deserve to have nice things, and I see a golden heart there.
Yeah, we need that. Yeah.
So, Devar, what's up with you?
I'm trying to honestly remember what I've been doing, other than playing the Persona M game with Ross and co.
Right, do you want to talk about that? You can give out all the spoilers you want. I'm not part of the game, so I won't be mad.
Well, so far it's been quite a fun game, though technically it's still in early days because of the fact it's been 5 sessions of roleplay, but most of it takes place off the table, which is weird to me.
I sometimes lurk about in the games chat to see what you boys are up to. And I see you struggling with several role-playing decisions.
Because it's Persona, right? Basically,
Persona non grata, if you ask me.
Yeah, so because it's Persona, right, it's socializing is a thing in the game. So basically in one session we got introduced to an entire platoon of people in and it's who are all these people? I won't remember all these people in the first time you introduced me to them, Ross. So I think I'm just going to, because the only person I remember is the Asian girl with pink hair.
Of course you would remember the anime girl.
Yeah, because it's either, oh, here's a normal guy with army fatigues. Here's another normal guy with army fatigues. Then we have a gothic Lolita-dressed lady. Then the pink-haired girl I mentioned before. And then we have a normal guy.
Normal guy!
So that's pretty much what I noticed when Ross introduced me to them. It's all I heard is static, and suddenly, here's a woman in gothic Lolita dress and here's a girl in pink hair. And I'm like, okay, I'll remember those two now. So it took me a bit of time, but all the characters I see have a bit of personality to them, thankfully.
Yes, and they are all named Ross Ferries.
They all sound like Ross Ferries too, but we don't.
That's weird.
We don't, but we don't question that though. Sexy.
It's not like it's the DM or anything.
Yeah, I know, right? So for a bit of context, I am playing Nadia Hughes. She is a black woman. I am the only one playing a person of color in that game, because everyone else is being a white woman or white males, so...
They must have not felt comfortable in pretending to be not white, which I understand.
Because, you know what's weird, right? Because I was trying to look at my list of characters I created over the long time I've been playing D&D and tabletop homebrew games like this, and I noticed that in my list of characters I've kept for a very specific purpose, that one, I've have too many guys over women, even though I thought I've played more women than guys for some reason, and despite the odd alien here or there, or corrupted person, I have not had a single person of colour, which I felt was a bit, it felt to me like,
It's not that strange, Devar. When we play the characters we create for ourselves in a D&D game, we project something of ours into them. And, well, I am white, so it makes sense I play a white character.
yeah.
this is not necessarily an intentional choice, it's more of a subconscious choice.
Wait. Oh, that's what's going on. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. You have to make this difficult. Okay.
I, for one, would feel weird in playing a person of color in these games because, well, I am not one, and I don't feel I am equipped or qualified to portray an individual of color in a silly D&D game. Then again, now that I said that out loud, it sounds like I am making it about race when it doesn't have to be about race. It's complicated, and at the end of the day, we're just playing D&D.
Yeah.
We're not making a TV show or a video game or writing on behalf of oppressed demographics.
Yeah.
In an arrogant effort to show that we know better.
Yeah.
We're just playing D&D at the end of the day, so I wouldn't be too troubled about that. There are better places to redirect that social consciousness. As I have hinted before.
I know. It's just, for some reason, it's just, to me personally, it's like, I just felt like, I wanted to play as somebody that I would not be in my life, sort of thing. So, essentially, I decided to play that sort of role, to basically see how it would be.
Funnily enough, that was the logic behind me creating the character of many times. And we all know how wrong that went.
Yeah, because essentially,
in my experience with D&D campaigns, I think I've learned something about myself, or rather, confirmed something about myself that I had suspicions about. I don't play well with others, generally speaking. I have never have, in my childhood, in my adulthood. I'm always about limited interactions, even with the people closest to me. And let's just say that drowning myself into a 100 hours long D&D campaign has brought out the worst out of me. I cannot keep myself invested for long.
Yeah.
I grow tired of it. The pacing becomes glacial in my mind, even more than it already is. I have little to no patience. So I decided, for the sake of both my mental health and, well, the sake of my friends, that I will not take part in another long, months, perhaps years-long campaign ever again. You were there in both occasions, both with the beachside one and the wrestling in space campaign. You've seen the worst I could be, and I've seen the worst some other players could be.
Yeah.
It was a whole drama, essentially, and so I decided not to be part of that anymore. Hence why I'm not participating in this latest campaign, even though it could have been a chance to hang out with Ross again.
Yeah.
In the long run, it's not worth the hassle and the mental fortitude that I would have to use in order not to lose my sanity and not to ruin the game for everyone else.
Right.
I am just that kind of player, apparently. So, from now on, only short campaigns, like the Call of Cthulhu ones we've been doing over the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Those are short, burst campaigns that are just the right size. They only last a month, and they keep me invested fine enough, and I think everyone can have a good time in that.
Yeah. So yeah, back to talking about Ross's game at least. It's been fun, but in other times it's not been, because for some strange reason he has decided that we cannot roll dices.
Huh?
Yeah, for some reason he basically decided, he would do the rolling for us.
Okay.
And,
Actually, I prefer that because I'm too lazy to roll dices.
Yeah, me and Danton are not so much a fan of that because we feel that, it takes away investment from the player. If it's not from them sort of deal. So we're not fans of that, but we're still,
I would argue that engaging with the actual role play of this role-playing game is always more interesting than engaging with this frankly annoying mechanics. I never enjoyed the mechanical aspects of tabletop RPGs. Yes, please, roll the dice for us, almighty DM. In that regard.
Oh no. Well, at least I'm here with 30
with
more
me.
health. So that's one thing that is controversial, would be the word for it.
It's not that atypical of a praxis, the DM rolling the dice on behalf of everyone else.
Let's just get this out and then...
Oh yes, using the bazooka in close quarters, that's a great idea.
It paid off.
This time.
Yes. So, anyway, I'm trying to think now of what else to say about Ross's game. But overall, I'm still enjoying it. I love the fact that we have characters going on, we have interpersonal roleplay and NPC roleplay, but...
An annoying cat telling you to go to sleep.
Straight enough, we haven't had any talking cats or anything like that.
Yes, Persona 5 is a grind in more ways than one.
Yeah. So, in this case, the grind is the role-played aspect, because in order to increase our stats like attack, agility, defense, and magic, we have to talk to specific NPCs in order to raise that stat.
No.
And because Ross decides, hey, we're gonna roleplay every time you meet these guys, and it's like, let me put it this way. I try and not visit that many people in Ross's game, but because of the state of the game, I feel a need to talk to certain characters for certain reasons, and to get the stats I need. So that means
what you're saying to me right now is that Ross has strapped you into an actual Persona game. And you're describing one of the many, many things I don't like about Persona.
Yeah, like I'm about to say that it's basically the whole...
I'm so glad I'm not part of this game. I would hate it. I would absolutely hate it. Sorry, Ross. No offense.
Yeah,
I love you.
So, yeah.
But I don't like Persona, and you know that. He knows I don't like Persona. We've spent two podcasts talking about how much I don't like Persona.
What? Oh! Neat! 200 armor.
Oh! You found a secret passage.
I thought I was going to,
die?
Die to a bunch of spikes, but no, apparently I live.
Good for you.
Okay, so the grind is in the roleplay, honestly. So it's
that's terrible.
So that can be mentally exhausting for me, honestly. I mean, I used to be a roleplayaholic back in my DeviantArt days, but
DeviantArt days? Oh no.
Yeah, and I was like a huge roleplayaholic. I got addicted to doing that. But that was too much for me, honestly. Like 6 characters every time. Just, so I'm hoping to lessen that at some point, but I have serious doubts based on my own outlook that I might need things, or I need to see characters for important reasons. But otherwise, it's a really fun game, of course. Has some interesting encounters so far. And also, we got to create our own personas, from the ground up, essentially. So we could come up with their design, and how they look, what deity or important figure of history we get to use. I am using a goddess of love who is not well known because she is deemed a false goddess, so to speak. Her name is Milda from Lithuanian folklore.
Ooh, nice. That's neat. You have a goddess of love, girl.
Yeah, because spoiler alert, Nadia's whole theme is about love, and
of course it is. It's you we're talking about.
Okay, we got something going on here.
Wait, cut to space?
Yeah, because we have this. I don't like where this is going.
Oh
no.
This is new. This is different. We might actually have to pay attention to the game for once.
Oh, is that all? Would you believe it? The obelisk seems to be a big transmitter. I believe that we just called something from deep space. Not too sure yet, but I bet that whatever it was, it will come over the Great Pyramid. You should be there when it arrives. Oh
no. Beware the Great Pyramid.
Well, looks like we've done it. Now, Stanley.
Oh, you've done it now. Alright, so do you think you have it in you? In your fuel tank? To do this last beat of this chapter before calling it a night?
It depends on how long this will take.
I think the stage might have answered on your behalf. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I think we just caught the AI in a bit of a snafu.
A bit of a AI snafu. A bit of a snai-fu, if you will.
Yeah. I wish I could tell you the evolutionary path I thought of for Nadia, but I can't because
spoilers.
It's spoilers for later.
Okay.
But they're all based around love of some description, and the entire evolutionary path I thought of basically has a theme going with it and a journey that I really want to plan for Nadia.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we basically had to come up with confidants, essentially. People who were close to us, so Ross could put them in a coma.
Thou art I, and I art thou.
Yeah.
And all that jazz. And you folks can follow all of that on twitch.tv/Paradise and Fairies.
Yeah, Fanboy
the official
Fairies, yeah.
Fanboy Fairies. Oh, is it Fanboy Fairies now?
Yeah, it's Fanboy Fairies.
You can catch all that on twitch.tv/Fanboy Fairies, the Ross Fairies official Twitch channel that he still has.
For some reason.
And you can watch all of this action, this palpitating, pulsating, and other adjectives action going on in the makeshift, totally original, do not steal Persona game concocted by Davar's friend and mine, Ross Ferris. And also the players who are there to tell the story as well.
That's what this is. The papyrus tells about the sacred yards placed in Thebes. The sacred yards consist of several yards connected together. Ancient Egyptians worshipped their gods there. The place is a little bit strange. Many archaeologists have stated in its place where nothing as it seems. You have no need and no reason to search for it. You better go directly towards the Great Pyramid. Oh,
well, you have no time, actually.
You told me that now. Right.
So the game is telling you, don't waste time with lore. There is more shooty bang bang to be had.
Oh, goody. It's giving me all the ammo I could ever need. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm not getting a break tonight, am I? Even though I probably should take one.
You know, technically, we have run out of topics of discussion. We could end feasibly the podcast, the episode, at this point.
Yeah.
And then continue next time.
Yeah, I think that might be an idea. Alright, one thing I will say about Ross's game is that basically, in order to catch people up on what happens off table, we have to do like these recap dinners where basically we have all the party come together to basically discuss what has happened during the week of anything important to basically share with the group and the audience effectively. So it's like, so any character development with the NPCs is essentially takes place off table, and then we have to catch the audience up on what they do not get the chance to see. So that's like a double-edged sword to me. It's like...
I don't like this formula.
Yes, I don't like it either, because it's fun for the players, but for the audience who want to enjoy it...
If you're playing this game for yourself, that's fine, but if you're technically putting this out there for the sake of a potential audience... that's a bit inconsiderate.
It is, really, honestly, but in the same breath, though, it's like, I'm thinking of 6 to 8 role plays everybody takes on, and it's like, how long does that take? Usually, it's like hours and hours of role play, and that's very difficult to get through.
Summarize.
Well, it's very difficult not only to summarize, but when you actually think about the logistics of actually showing the audience all of this wonderful roleplay, it's like, they'll be asking to go to the next combat section because there's too much roleplay going on. Oh god, thank god Madhog's not in this game because he would totally, be not on board. He would totally be not on board with half of the stuff.
You know me so well. I chose not to be on board with the pretense that I do not like Persona, which is only half of the truth.
Yeah.
The other half of the truth I've explained before.
Yeah, I know.
I don't feel the need to reiterate that.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
yes.
I think we should probably call it a night here, though, so thanks for joining us, folks. We got serious at the first part, but hopefully the levity at the other half will, make up for that.
Yes, it's important to balance out your diet with both awful news and good news, just so that you are aware of what's going on in the world, but at the same time you don't wear yourself out with everything that's going on in the world. So relax, play a game, and then go back out there and make your voice be heard.
Yeah.
Or something, I wouldn't know. So, yes, play Kookie Run OvenBreak. It's fun. I guarantee you will have a good time.
Yeah.
You could say, in fact,
that
I am Kookie for Kookie Run. Title of the episode.
You're totally baked, man. Totally baked.
Well, I guess this is the way the cookie crumbles.
Oh god, that was a half-baked joke if I heard one.
You cannot do the same pun again.
I did a different one. It's a phrase.
Still the same word.
Oh, crumbs.
You have such a huge chip on your shoulder.
Better be salt and vinegar flavour.
Put the cookie down! Okay, good night, everybody.
Take care.